Aloha and welcome to Marriage on the Spot. We're your co-hosts, Kent and Elizabeth Kitagawa. And it's getting a little close to a very special time, very special season in spring when
and not Easter.
No, not yet.
Easter.
We haven't quite sprung that far. No, where all our young men's fancies turn to
Flower shops.
well, that too, love.
Oh,
right?
love.
And
Yeah.
that's why we call this. Give you a little bit of love advice for Valentine's Day, guys. This is your first reminder. Okay, just a reminder that you do not want to forget this special day, as we experienced, right? One time. Oh yes.
Yeah, was that in Switzerland?
That was our first Valentine's. Yes. Yes, I know that feeling of panic. Yeah. So, to save you from some discomfort, we are giving you some love advice, okay? And the first thing is, one of the first things, and it's interesting that we've taken this from, it was actually a online love and marriage website called yourtangoexperts.com. So you can find these on there if you need some help. These are just a few of the things that they posted as advisements for lovers and would-be lovers, I guess.
We are lovers.
Yes.
Even after 40-some years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you use some of this that we we talk about today, I think that you'll be able to grow in your love too.
Okay.
Mm.
We love together.
Yeah.
And
So,
we laugh together a lot. That's part
one
of
of the
it.
keys. Yeah. That's one of the keys.
Yeah.
But let's start by, it's an interesting beginning here. Love your marriage by first taking care of yourself. And this is by a licensed professional counselor named Mary Jo Rapini. So many patients say the reason their marriage fell apart is that they became depressed and disinterested in their partner. If you keep working on you, and that means not just, we're not just talking about the physical, but also the mental and maybe even the spiritual side, of yourself. Your marriage will stay fresh and vital. Start today by adding a new wedding vow to your list of wedding vows. Promise to take care of yourself so you will continue to age with grace and confidence by your partner's side.
Wow. How often, she said? Every day? Every week?
Start today.
Today?
Yeah, by adding a new wedding vow to it.
Wedding vow. The new wedding vow of the day is today is the best day of the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And we will make the best of it, right?
Yeah.
Even when things are hard.
Yes.
And this is where...
Even when I cannot see you on the screen.
Rick, you can...
Okay.
The next one.
Recognize that your husband or wife is mirroring back to you who you are. So take whatever you're upset with him or her about and use it to help yourself look square at whatever you need to do in your order to grow and evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's always a lot of stuff which we can see in our spouse. But sometimes there's probably as much as we can see or should see in us.
Mm-hmm.
But we skip that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to look at you than to look at me. I don't have a mirror right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are my mirror. But I really appreciate that we can recognize ourselves even if we see a flaw in our spouse and think about it. Okay, if I would have a day going through like you going through right now with all your demands on you, how would I deal then? How patient would I be? How friendly would I look that customer in the eyes? And so it's good to see not just your spouse, but think about what would I do if I would be you? How could I impress better or make myself friendlier?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. You know, a lot of times we project the very things that we are frustrated with on ourselves, or the things that we seemed overwhelmed that we have a hard time to cope with. So, and we project it onto our spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is why, you know, we have to look back and recognize that there's, you know, their behaviors, our spouse's behaviors, a lot of times will mirror our own behaviors. So if they're kind of grouchy, maybe it's because we've been grouchy. You know, no, maybe not.
Not me. Yeah.
But, you know, so it's being able to stop and take that assessment, self-assessment, especially before we react.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the important key, is don't react first. Think about yourself first. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And take time to have fun together every day. And that's, I think, you know, it can be just laughing about something.
Just laughing about ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
And remember, don't laugh at your spouse. Laugh with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he might make mistakes, and so do we.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny sometimes if he maybe bumps into something, but if we both can laugh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cannot laugh because you hurt yourself or whatever, then let's not laugh at you. Oh, you hurt yourself. No. Then be that friend, be that partner, be that friend.
They're caring, right?
Who cares about it and
Mm-hmm.
who really loves.
Yeah, compassion,
And,
showing compassion
and
for that.
show love
Mm-hmm.
in different ways, in many different ways.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think this, you know, taking a walk, just taking a walk and holding hands, you know, it says here, take a walk and hold hands, because being outside is very calming.
Mm-hmm.
Or a couple cook, you know. We like to cook sometimes, and
You drive me nuts.
Yeah.
And
That's your one thing.
my recipes, which are straight from here into the pan,
Yeah.
I bypass any recipe books. And that turns out sometimes very special.
Yeah.
like today, when I said, well, you asked me, what is that little thing? I think that's something special. And you can choose afterwards whether you want it in your fried rice or you don't want it in your fried rice.
Uh-huh.
And then when the word special comes, I know you start laughing. I said, oh no, what is she doing now?
Yeah. What?
Shall I tell them the truth?
Huh?
I had a black banana in the fridge and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to dump it. So a little piece of the fried rice, that's the special of the day now, I put in a little bowl, put that aside and mixed it in with the dark banana. And so there was a little bowl separate from the fried rice, but he didn't know that it's brown also from the from the banana. And then I said, okay, each one has a plate of regular fried rice, and you can choose whether you want a spoon of that at the side or on top of your fried rice. And you were very adventurous, and you chose
put it on top.
On top.
Just lay it out there.
And I tell you, it was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
That little bowl with the brown fried banana, that sweetness, and it was just so good. And we laughed like two little kids, well, which we often do when we cook, or when I cook especially.
Cook, yeah. It's a culinary adventure.
That's right. And of course I come from Switzerland, so most of the time I give them a Swiss recipe name, or I just come up with a Swiss name. So much for that.
Yeah.
Now try it yourself and let us know what you think about the fried rice
to try
from Switzerland.
Right. And that would be a great way to maybe even spend a Valentine's Day dinner.
Turns out a little sweeter than usual.
Yeah.
And not so boring.
Yeah. Get adventurous, right?
Yes. Okay, where are we now? Baby, where are we here? Okay. Before you get mad wait, I'm sorry. Can you read it? I have sometimes problems with my reading.
Sure.
My eyes.
Before you get mad or assign blame, take a breath and ask your partner for his or her perspective. For instance, it's your spouse's job to walk the dog in the morning, but you discover there's a pile of dog stuff in the kitchen floor, and cleaning it up makes you late for work. Instead of immediately placing blame, saying something like, "I'm puzzled about what happened with Spot this morning," is a gentle way to start a conversation. Yeah, so not, just not flying off the
handle.
The handle.
Yeah. We don't have a dog anymore, but it could have happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm trying the next one. Make a list of 3 of the happiest moments in your marriage. Spend a few minutes each day briefly reliving those moments in your mind. The results will amaze you. We are 42 years married, next month. And I thought, wow, happiest moments. We have a lot of happiest moments. But I was thinking way back when we went to our pastor and told him, we have wanted to talk to you in the possibility of us getting married and you doing our wedding. And he goes, not you too. I still hear that. And that was not the funniest and not the happiest moment. However, a few months later, about 3-4 months later, we came back to him and said, we still love each other and really would like to get married. And you know what he said? I am so amazed how much changes I see in you folks. I really can see changes. And yes, I think I would marry you. That was probably my happiest moment before we got married. Because I couldn't believe that Pastor Larry actually gave us now the okay, because he watched us talk and interact and
and change. And we did the homework that he gave us.
Yeah, he gave us homework to do, and I remember he said, Kent, you have the harder homework to do. She is pretty straightforward. She is very much on time. She's very exact, and you are typical Hawaiian, laid back, a little bit late or easygoing. You would drive her nuts. I have to loosen up and don't take life so serious. But praise God, about 6-7 months later, he married us. Not only that, he walked me down the aisle, turned around, and performed our wedding. That's still, it gives me goosebumps. That's still my happiest moment of our then married story.
Yep, and you call him every year.
Every year on our anniversary, he gets a phone call. And yes, he said, yes, I know you are still together. And yes, you proved me wrong when I first said not to two. Do you have a happy moment?
Yeah, I think our happiest moment for me was when I was holding our daughter, our first child,
baby girl,
and the first baby girl for a long time in our family, because my dad had 5 boys, so it was like, yeah, and I knew it was gonna tickle my parents, but it was just holding my daughter. She was just freshly born, and they had just cleaned her up, wrapped her, and gave her to me, and she was crying. But the moment I held her, the moment I started talking to her, she quieted down, and she listened to us. And that was just such a bonding, just such a bonding time. That was amazing. So, that definitely hits a highlight for me.
Yeah, and you know what? Now we have 6 grandkids. None of them is a girl. She is the only girl. Our daughter is the only girl in the immediate family.
Yeah, we got 6 grandsons.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, you can change your relationship for the better by increasing the use of the following statements. And it may seem kind of hokey or trite, but this is true. And we often forget, to say I love you, or I'm here for you, or I'm with you. I understand. I'm sorry. That's a big one, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate all that you do. It's so nice to see you. And that was quite an accomplishment.
I truly can say we're doing pretty good on this list. I don't know how many times a day we say to each other, I love you. And how many times you come I usually go to bed a little bit before you because you go back on the computer to do the extra homework for the next day. But you come in regularly and say, "Good night, Charles. I so love you." And I get a kiss and a short prayer. Even though we prayed before, and I say good night before when I go to bed, but you come in again and you cuddle me one more time. And I really appreciate those
Me
things. And the compliments we usually give each other.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. You're still my Schnickelfritz.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate your partner at least 5 times. We just said that already, but it's still the case. In order to keep the spark alive and avoid roommate syndromes, couples have to understand the notion of spending time together versus creating sacred time. Doesn't count on the way. Instead of carving out special times, do not only be intimate. I'm sorry, I have a hard time again. I'm sorry, my eyes are still not working right.
Spending time at social events, time with family, and doing chores together does not count as sacred times. And this is the big distinction we have to make. Instead, carve out special time not only to be intimate, but also to ensure that you continue to share new experiences together, such as hiking or exploring something new, or arranging a staycation in your own city. And I think that's important, because a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, we spend a lot of time together, watching TV." That's a big thing, watching TV, but that's not the same thing.
That's when I fall asleep.
Right.
That's my early fall asleep bedtime, watching TV. Actually, the first time Ken took me out for a movie, and it was, is it right, Star Wars?
Yep, Star Wars 2.
I don't know what one was. I probably slept through that. We were just starting to date. He took me to a movie, and I don't know how much I saw of Star Wars, but I remember something with the thumbs. Yeah.
No, that's another.
Is that another one? The thumbs.
That's way. That's
and I was during the whole time I figured out, is that the left, right thumb? Okay, the other one I fell asleep in the first. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know.
10 minutes, I think. Yeah.
He said that was a real waste of time and money to take you out for a movie.
Yeah.
But we're still laughing about it.
Yeah.
We were not married yet, so it's 40 some years old, 43 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I've taken you out to a lot of different places, but not to movies.
Not to
very rarely.
Yes. Yeah. I probably would have gone if I would have seen the ski slope, the World Championship the other day. Yeah. I would have probably stayed awake through the Swiss Championship. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh, we are so different. I mean, Pastor Larry from Maui was right. You are so different. You're going to have to work on your differences that they can somehow connect.
Yeah. And it has to do with appreciating those differences, and not trying to change them. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
We got to realize that when we marry our spouse, it's the whole package.
Yes. Whole package. When you come from a different culture, like many of you do, you realize you have gotten a big package with food and all kinds of different ways of doing things or not doing things, of liking things or not liking things. And so you have to get used to different culture, different language, different food, different lots of things. Yes, we are so different, but we love it.
Right, it's an adventure.
It's an adventure.
We always have to remind ourselves that this is part of our growth as people, and this is God's design for us to grow beyond ourselves. Okay. Create a clear vision of your shared future together. Sit down, listen to each other, and write out how you want your future as a couple to look. It's much easier to create your best relationship together if both people's needs are voiced, heard, and supported by their partner. And I think that's a good advice to do. I think we've done a lot of dreaming together where we sit down and thinking ahead, what would the next year look like? What is the next 5 years going to look like, And we've made some real, I think, critical decisions together in that way. So we'll close up with that, There's a lot more that you can do, and like I say, you can go to the website. It's Your Tango Together, or yourtangoexperts.com. But thank you, and we just pray that you folks have a wonderful Valentine's Day together.
Yes.
And year together.
Yes. It doesn't have to be expensive gifts or expensive food. It's the time and the togetherness which counts. God bless you. Aloha.